All right, and what's going on with
Uh-oh.
my? Okay, hold on. I gotta fix the video. I
Return
know
of
what the
Linux.
issue is. For some reason, it keeps resetting to the wrong window. Give me 1 second. That's
That's
not
what I love to hear. I'm gonna flip us on now. Oh,
Yeah, never
uh,
mind.
it.
Up.
Okay, there's one. Hold on. Two. Why does it keep doing that to me? I'll figure that out later. 3 and 4. Do. So I can just add this to my checklist of stuff to do before I go live next time.
Johnny, that's a good checklist to make, my man. You're learning. It only took until episode 202 for you to think I should probably do a checklist of things.
Yeah. And what happened to Jesse here?
I don't know what
nothing.
happened
He's
to
sitting
me.
right
I
there.
can still see him.
There it goes.
Can you see the future? Shit.
For some reason, everyone's video keeps locking up. Why is it doing this?
Probably your fault.
Yeah.
Maybe because we're all just like sitting still. Everybody move around.
That's not it. Like right now, Jesse's the only one moving.
David, did you get them?
I saw.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, as soon as we would start rolling sound, Charlie Murphy would just get to shaking. It's like, cue sound.
God, that's good.
I think I may have found it.
We were talking about Chappelle Show earlier today because my brother had to get a herpes test. See you in hell, motherfuckers. Ooh, baby, I like it raw.
Hello, Dave Chappelle. It's been a while since I've seen you, dirty motherfucker.
Motherfucker. How did you get your STD? From fucking.
Fucking. I love the behind the scenes clip of watching Snoop Dogg record that line and just lose his shit.
Oh, God, yeah. That's the good shit.
That's good shit.
Good shit, Dave. Yeah, Dave Chappelle's gotten pretty jacked, man. He could probably wrestle now if he wanted to.
He's gonna.
Yeah, weird. It keeps swapping only one person being like active at a time. What the hell? Okay, hold on.
I'm trying to remember what the pre-line in with the Grouch. It's like, oh, we say, like, my dad says, like, so that's the gayest shit I've ever heard.
Oh, God, yeah. Song, too. That's right. I don't need you, honey. I beat my dick like
it owes me money.
That's why I say,
fuck it.
I'm just on. Yeah, I'm redoing this real quick. This is gonna take me just bear with me.
John, you
Oh, we're
sound
starting.
No.
that was on.
I didn't hear a countdown. Fuck.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do.
God, that's a really good episode of Chappelle Show. I would have watched that when we're done.
It really is a very good episode, yeah. Q-tip.
Okay.
I was thinking about the Snout episode the other night.
Which one?
The Snout episode, the rejected sketches and everything with the time haters.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Apparently, shooting a slave owner isn't funny to anybody but me. If I could, I'd do it every episode.
See, I feel like nowadays he'd be proven right. Like, yeah, that's good. Do it. Did you guys see the great news from the organization that we care about the least, but it's still good progress? NASCAR.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Hooray.
I'm just saying, like, that's a big swing. Like, no Confederate flags at NASCAR events. Like, you just
Fucking
randomly
finally.
alienating like 60% of your audience, but like good.
Fuck them.
That is seriously lowballing.
Yeah, I'm just being generous because they have racetracks somewhere up north, but yeah, like it's yeah, cool, good. I've been meaning to drive up to the north side of town, see if the Confederate monument is still up there. Smash it with a fucking sledgehammer. There's only 2 in the Tallahassee area, and one of them they quietly removed, which is pretty cool. No one noticed. What do you know?
All right.
It was on the fucking Capitol grounds, and they were like remodeling, or they were doing this huge like expansion of the Capitol, and they just fucking took the thing away, and then they finished, and it never came back. It's like, is it coming back? Like that fucking that thing coming back? No. Okay, good. Nobody.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Governor, is the Confederate monument that stood right there coming back? I'm sorry. The what? In that spot? What spot? That's just an empty spot.
Oh no, we're building a Burger King there.
I think there used to be a phone booth there. Who remembers phone
I'm
booth?
sorry. What monument?
But yeah, somewhere up north of town, there's just a random like small obelisk to Robert E. Lee. I'm like, Robert E. Lee never came to Bradfordville. What the fuck is this doing here? Like, smash that bitch.
Okay.
Little by little.
Just about there.
That's what she said.
To Johnny.
Oh, they can hear us.
Yeah, we are like live. They're
Okay.
watching me fix
Okay,
everything
cool.
right now because I'd already gone live before I saw the issues.
I was like, wow,
So
they're
then-
talking about what we're talking about.
When you fucked up, it prohibited you from going live. I didn't realize any of this shit was on the record.
Yeah.
Oh,
We just alienated like 60% of NASCAR fans from our show.
right, exactly. Fuck, man. I forgot Dell's a hardcore white supremacist. Damn.
It's his favorite
He
thing.
talked on just then. He's like, oh shit.
Those are his 2 favorite things: obscure video games and white people.
Right. Very obscure video games.
Yeah.
And also white people, yes. We love you, Dell.
Well, I mean, they are called Grand Wizards, and he likes RPGs, so I don't know.
It tracks.
somebody got his wires crossed.
Red
I mean-
Dragons and whatnot, or whatever the fuck. Who decided that's what they were going to be called? That's some bullshit. Like, they don't use any kind of magic. Ugh.
Nope.
No, they use magic. The magic of hatred.
Okay.
Like, all they do is, like, burn giant teas, and it's stupid.
I don't think that's exactly what those are supposed to be, but yeah, sure, they're teas. They're teas.
I don't know what alphabet you're looking at.
Yeah, my son, he's been learning from Elmo. Those are definitely lowercase t's.
That is, of all the craziness that's been going on in the world, that's one thing that does kind of, I can appreciate in an absurdist way, is the fact that Tucker Carlson on Fox News was attacking Elmo. Like, what the fuck is this world?
Yeah. The world's real weird if you pay attention to Fox News.
Oh my god.
Well, yes, but
Yeah. No. Seems like he's kind of punching down there, like taking on Elmo. Like, I don't know, man. I think a man of whatever you do, whatever stature you have, maybe you don't talk about Elmo, but I don't know. It's just me. If I was running a news network, I might not be talking about Sesame Street in an attempt to be taken seriously.
I'm here to discuss the enemies of the American people: Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, Obama, the New York Times, Elmo, and who's that one
Superman.
popular like actor? Like, yeah, them two, whatever.
Right. Exactly. LeBron James.
LeBron James. He's
Alright.
no king.
I'm ready. We're ready to go now. You guys are ready to go.
I looked it up. He's not anointed anywhere.
This
All right.
crown isn't even real.
I gotta go get like 2 more beers before we start. Thanks, John, for taking all that time.
You could have done that one.
God
man.
damn it. Well, I get to tweak a
See-
few other things, I guess, while I'm waiting here.
Make sure the songs and stuff are loaded.
I could have been getting bonus music all this time.
Yeah.
Why? You're not going to win.
Shh, we don't tell them that.
No, I'm just saying. You're gonna.
Yeah.
You might get
Oh,
hit by
yeah.
another car.
Damn, that's some smack talk, Jesse.
I mean, what if you got hit
Jeez.
by a car again? I mean, fuck. It
That's
just comes
true.
to your living room. Goddamn, Rikishi, he's at it again.
Oh, that video is still one of my favorite GTT things that has ever happened.
So fucking good.
So good.
Okay.
Should I drink tonight or no?
How's your sobriety?
You make a compelling argument, Johnny.
Chug.
There are a number of factors to consider, David. If you admitted to yourself that you're powerless over alcohol.
Yes.
Okay.
So should I or shouldn't I? Send
Have
in
you-
mixed signals here.
Have you done your fearless moral inventory yet, David? Made amends?
No.
Okay, cool. As long as you're not past step 4, then please.
Okay. No, I was just sitting there. I was like, I have 3 beers in the fridge, and I was saving them for Friday night. But also, game that tune.
It's my Friday night, baby. I'm going into work tomorrow.
All right.
Beers.
Oh, I need to pull my.
All right, fine.
Oh my god.
Mm.
2.
Yeah. That's what they call beer pressure, gentlemen. And David
Oh!
frequently succumbs to it. Who's joking? Yeah, the one thing I haven't found in this move is my fucking little fancy writing board. Found the stylus, but not the board.
Peer pressure's a bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Heard it here.
All right. You guys ready to start the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What time is it, John?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I want to check on things. Everybody's saying no sound.
What? Oh, God. Okay. All right.
For a second, I thought you were going to start the episode with Johnny. You want to check what time is it? Why are we starting so late?
That's right, John.
Taking a look.
But no.
taking a look.
As soon as we started, all the chat messages were like ... and no sound. I was like, well,
Well, then,
I can't ignore this.
how the hell did I hear it? Hold on. Think they hear it? Because if they are, I don't know how they're hearing it. Let me check for the
Why did
source.
you
Still
put
silent. Still silent.
Like, okay. So
Yeah.
words. OBS output. What is this going out to then? Is this going out to
Chrono
something
hears nothing.
PA OBS source. That's going to that. Properties. All right.
Oh.
I think that makes sense. Okay. And this thing is being input from input.
Oh man, I'm gonna get drunk before the
PA
show starts.
sync. Output OBSN. And I'm hearing it.
Are you?
Yeah. It's like, what the hell?
Voices in his head, people.
As far as I can tell, this should be 100% like being picked up by OBS. I don't understand it. Fuck me.
Episode title's gonna be, Johnny, you want to check that sound? Fuck the police.
I don't know, man. I mean, we could just do without the live viewers hearing the effects. We'd still hear it. Do you guys hear the effects when I play them?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
But
But
what's
they
the
need to be able to hear they need to be able to hear the tunes, man.
Oh, wait. Oh,
Yeah, that too.
let me check on the music. Hold on. Checking. Yeah, okay, I see OBS responding to that. So that is going to OBS. So why OBS?
Live
Why-
viewers, check us out, and then sit quietly for 10 minutes while we listen to music, and then we'll
Okay,
chat.
Okay, they heard music that time.
I heard
Yeah,
the music.
They can hear the music. It's just the sound effects. I don't know why.
That's so weird.
Okay, has anybody stopped recording this whole time? We are all still recording our original
Yeah.
No,
thing?
I'm still recording.
I'm still recording.
Yeah, I'm still recording.
Jesse, you're not recording?
No, I am.
Okay, good. Then Johnny, just give me a 3 count and I'm gonna act as though we fucking heard the theme song.
Okay. 3.
Give me the last 5 notes of the theme song.
I can't do that.
Hum it.
I don't have that
I mean,
ability.
From your acapella voice, motherfucker. Do it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Ba da da ba.
Oh yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's ya boy John Harrington here. We got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey,
Hell yeah, guys. Welcome back. It's good to hear everybody's voices again. This is Game That Tune, episode 202. And man, oh man, we got a great show coming up tonight. If you're just joining us for the first time, what we're going to do around here is we're going to listen to some video game tunes. We've each got 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess the games based on the songs with a little bit of trivia. We goof off. We have a lot of fun. The winner at the end of the night picks the theme for the next episode and plays some bonus tunes. And yeah, we had a fantastic return from our hiatus last week. We just had a blast and provided some fun escapism. And I think that we've got more of that in store this week. And the fantastic Jesse Moore has tonight's theme. So Jesse, what's tonight's fun and fancy free theme for Game That Tune?
Oh, it's a theme filled with whimsy and all sorts of happiness. Games in which you can fight police officers.
Yes. Okay. Kind of went the other way on that one, but you know what? It's it's Game That Tune. We can make fun out of anything. Quite frankly, it's a bit of a fraught time out there. Protests continue, but hey, we're making progress, people. Minneapolis is somehow going to dissolve that police department and figure out a more citizen-driven, community-based police force. And it's an exciting and interesting time to be alive. I think that's the polite way to put it. And yeah, we're gonna play some fantasy games that allow you to commit a violent act against a police officer without repercussion. I don't mean there's no repercussions in the game. I mean from the comfort of your couch, you can punch a police officer and nothing happens. The police don't come knock down your door. This isn't Korea. So yeah, we got a fun show coming up tonight, guys. It's
Episode title.
This ain't Korea.
Yeah.
How about, that would be the next theme is North Korean police punching games.
North Korean
I
game.
thought the theme was going to be games not in Korea.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Nice big broad theme. Oh God, Johnny, if you pick that Exalted Leader game, I swear to God. But yeah, we got a great game coming up. We got 4 great games. We got a great fan request, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So Johnny, they can't hear the sound effects because you've done something, smeared your dick all over your soundboard. So tell us that we're going to game 1.
Well, I think I may have just fixed it. Hold on.
Game 1.
Yeah, that came through. That came through OBS. All right.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it, though.
Are you serious? You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear shit.
No.
Why?
I thought you were doing a bit because you started fist pumping and there was no sound.
All right.
Wow. Okay, well, it's fine. It's the sounds are for the audience anyway. We know what's
Chrono
happening.
heard it.
Johnny, we're starting game 1.
Game 1.
Okay. So this is a beat 'em up game that combines, well, it's more like a mashup game. It combines elements of a beat 'em up with elements of a JRPG. guys got some answers?
Sure do.
All right, let's see here. John says Rygar, which is incorrect. David says Konami's Fuck the Police, which is incorrect. And Jesse has Treachery and Beatdown City, which is correct.
Oh.
That is Treachery and Beatdown City. Just came out March 2020, and this game could not have come out at a better time. I think it's it's just a coincidence.
I would argue against that, John. I would say it's no worse time to try to release media.
Well, true, but it's a game where you beat up racists, you beat up corrupt cops. It's the game opens with you play a Latina woman who tries to go to a gym, and somebody mistakes her for the staff and asks her to start cleaning the mirrors. And then you beat the shit out of them, and it just goes from there. It's pretty interesting because it combines traditional beat 'em up elements with JRPG elements. And what I specifically mean is when you come up and fight somebody, you can just hit A and like do quick jabs, right? Or you can pop up a menu where you start chain together moves and try to come up with combos, and you have fight points, that you get to use. And you beat up people to earn more fight points back, and you can trigger like being in a combo status. It gets you the ability to do it increases your accuracy, so certain moves are more likely to work, things like that. And when somebody attacks you choose like, do you want to block? Do you want to brace? What do you want to do? It's pretty interesting because it's a little bit slower than like a normal beat 'em up is, right? Like you tend to only be fighting like a couple people at a time tops. And it's through dialogue boxes, and you have to. It's kind of how Final Fantasy VII had that like action meter that had to fill up before you do stuff. It's got a similar concept. It's got a 3-phase action meter. So like when one phase fills up, you get 1 action. When 2 fills up, you can do 2. It goes up to 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a pretty cool concept.
It sounds fucking dope, John. I'm looking at pictures of it now, and yeah, it's like Double Dragon NES quality graphics.
Yeah.
And it's like these action menus. I think the thing I was going to say maybe that reminded me of was something like God Hand, where like you're doing chaining combos and stuff, and you have all these extra abilities that are accessed via like action wheels and things. And it's like, yeah, you can be beating stuff up and doing all kinds of wacky shit, or you can throw a little extra in that mix for fight points. Like that sounds like it would translate pretty well to an 8-bit style beat 'em up. Like that's intriguing to me. This how was I not made aware of this game? That sounds great.
Yeah,
probably that's, you said it came out like there's no better time for it to have come out. Like, so this is an old school beat 'em up like throwback kind of thing. Did it not come out like the same exact time as Streets of Rage 4? Like it seems like maybe it got lost in the fray of another prominent throwback beat 'em up coming out.
Oh, what I think happened is what day did Animal Crossing come out?
That's what it was. The Animal Crossing crowd just buried Treachery and Beatdown City.
I think so. This came out either the same day or the day before. It was like March 30th or something like that.
Sweet.
Ooh. And yeah.
Do not try to cross Animal Crossing. It's a behemoth, man.
Well, Doom can do it. That's it.
I feel
Doom
like
and Animal Crossing were symbiotic. That was the only reason Doom survived. They went hand in hand. Everybody bought both.
I feel like I need to buy and play this game because I'm not going to lie, John. Everything you have said about this game has made me want it more. Like, oh yeah, it's like a JRPG beat 'em up. Okay, where you fight racists. Okay, as a Latina woman. Okay. It's like, and as you go through, like, you can level stats and everything. And how in beat 'em ups where you fight like 6 people or there's a huge crowd swarming this. In this, you fight like 3 max. Okay.
Even better. Yeah, exactly. Like it doesn't just overwhelm you and fuck you up like, shitty old beat 'em ups. Like, all right, good. Very good. You're telling me that it's an enjoyable beat 'em up? Go to, get out of here. Get out of town. No way.
And yeah, I think it's
did David just confirm he was a Latino woman?
he confirmed he wants to play a game as a Latina woman. Subtle
Okay,
difference.
I mean, I believe it's been documented on the show. Like, if there is a choice between male and female character, I usually pick the female character. So
Yes, that is very true. You're right. Yeah, just your spicy Spanish side was coming out a little bit. I was like, yeah, damn. I'm just picturing you talking with like Rosie Perez's voice, and I'm not gonna lie, David, it was doing something for me. But
I'm
anyway.
not gonna do my Hispanic accent because
No,
then
don't
we'll
do
get
it. I was
canceled.
Please don't.
I was
Fine.
imagining it. That's
Game
the thing.
2, quick.
Imagination is a delightful thing. See the fantasy, like placing David into this setting. Like, one, make David a Latina woman. That's wild and crazy enough. Two, David, as we know him today, goes to a gymnasium. That's even more far fetched than David being a Latina woman. It's a game putting David in this setting.
I want to sit here and like give you shit for that, but no, you're correct. Me going to a gym is far less likely than me being a Latina woman.
It's easier for you to transition into becoming a Latina woman than it is to get you a gym membership. I've taken the joke too far. I apologize. But John, this game looks fucking great, man. So I assume that you've downloaded and played this game.
Game 2.
Oh my god, I heard
it.
You fixed it.
No, so I've not. It is available for Switch and for PC. It's only $20. So I think it's probably a pretty good buy. It seems like the kind of game that you can come in, play for a little bit. It probably does get repetitive because it is a beat 'em up, right?
No way.
But you can probably play a few levels, come back in a day or two, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy beating up shitty cops. There's a lot of dialogue in this game, and that I think has gotten a little bit of criticism that there's probably a little too much of it, but some of it is pretty funny.
I think dialogue in a beat 'em up game can be pretty well relegated to like 3 lines during a cutscene. You really don't need a whole lot to go on. Like, you know the motivation in a beat 'em up. It's there in the description of the genre. Beat them up.
Yeah. The only motivation you need in a beat 'em up is an arrow saying "this way."
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a little bit lost. No, you're not. You can only go one direction. It's this way. And when you get there, beat them up. That's the name of this game.
I found an interview with the creator of the game, and he was talking about how he wasn't sure how to advertise this game, and I think the interviewer told him just call it your tagline should just be "Punch a Racist." Punch a Racist.
Yeah, that sells me.
Yeah,
yeah. And frankly, it's like a good co-opting of all the weird shit that's gone on in the last few years. Like, when fucking that guy got punched out for being a Nazi on camera, everybody's like, yeah, it's good to punch Nazis, punch a racist. It's like, yeah, market your game with that. It'll draw the same crowd. Like, oh, cool, they made a game out of punching that guy. Well, no, you're punching a different racist, but lots of them, so it feels pretty good. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Take my money.
I mean, that's literally why I bought Wolfenstein 2, because it was a Switch game where you could shoot Nazis. It's like, I need this.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they got Open Mike Eagle for the main theme, which is pretty sweet. And yeah,
it is cool.
Yeah. End of
awesome.
List.
Yeah, I mean, shit, John. You said Open Mike Eagle. That that scored you several cred points in my book. So, wow.
I can name him.
One, I read the name. That's enough.
2, I've heard him on NPR before.
I'm talking about, John. That's how you get your cred. You drop the NPR.
I mean, again, I don't know why you need to drop cred. You had me sold at Punch Racists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's all take a trip to Beatdown City, punch a racist, and listen to Open Mike Eagle. It all sounds really good. So anyway, Johnny, anything else? You already said there was nothing else.
Game 2.
Yeah. All right, guys. So based on the year that this game is set, there's actually several anachronisms that have been found throughout the game. Many of the vehicles and songs in the game are from 1948 or 49. In one case, there's a letter featuring a zip code. Zip codes were not introduced in the United States until 1963. And the characters' animations, when they get into cars, show them putting on a 3-point seat belt. But lap-style seat belts weren't even in cars until 1949, and 3-point seat belts weren't patented until 1955.
Hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Yeah, see, let's see those answers there, fellas. Jesse says Mafia 2, see? He's incorrect, as Johnny and David both have the correct answer. It's L.A. Noire, see? And that is the extent of which I plan to do that voice tonight.
I was going to say, are we going to spend this entire segment sounding like Edward G. Robinson?
Listen, man, it's so tempting to start every single sentence I'm about to say. Yeah, see? We could bring it back, David. You want to do it?
Nah.
See? Okay. Yeah. Throwback to the Chief Pick'em podcast.
Yeah.
L.A. Noire, baby. Man, what a game. Am I the only one here who's taking the trip to L.A. for a little throwback, a little L.A. Noire action?
I've never played it.
I'm not surprised,
Chicago is the farthest west I've ever gone.
Wow.
Whoa.
But David, this is on Switch. You could actually play this game right now.
Yeah, right now.
Right the fuck now, David. Yeah. Yeah, see? Going to get that sweet game, see? So yeah, this game, man, it's pretty good. Now before we get all mad about the theme, yeah, you play as a police in this game. However, like many games that feature the ability to fight the police, you play as a police. So that, you're fighting corrupt cops in this. That's the thing. So yeah, you're playing a police detective, and eventually you gotta have some you gotta have it out with some toughs, some guys that don't want you uncovering vast conspiracy web, if you know what I mean. Game's pretty cool though, man. This came out. I was surprised. I was looking it up and I'm like, man, goddamn, this came out like 2011. I would have had this pegged like, I don't know, like 2013, 2014. Like I was thinking like PS3 Swan Song. It's like, no, this kind of was shit. This game came out almost 10 years ago, and it was really something. I feel like this game was the height of people maybe taking video games a little too seriously. In the Rockstar camp, like seriously. Does anybody know where they the big premiere event for LA Noire? Did anybody remember this stunt they pulled?
LA.
Was it was it like a Game Awards thing?
No, it was even more masturbatory than that. Johnny, you want to venture a guess?
Let's see. It was not LA. It was not a Video Game Awards thing. I'm guessing they did something in New York City with the actual mafia.
Oh, see, yeah, exactly. They cut off a horse's head and put it in someone's bed. It was wild.
Publicity directed at one person.
You play the game, yeah. See. But no, this game is. I'm sure it's it's the first and only game to premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival.
I was close.
Yes, I know, John. I thought you would pull up the wiki. That's just really silly. Like they did a screening, I guess, of game cutscenes, and then had like a Q&A with the director, and it was like the opening thing of Tribeca that year. I'm like, man, if I was a film critic or something, and I ended up going to that, I'd be a little pissed. Like, wait a minute, I got to watch cutscenes from a Rockstar game? What the fuck, man? Like this. It could be good. It's all right. It was pretty, I guess, groundbreaking with the facial scan and all the performances, and they had some fun ideas in there. The problem that I had with it, I was bad at the main thing of the game. The main thing of this game is you're a detective and you're interviewing people, and you have to read their faces for like facial tics and cues to see if maybe they're lying or telling the truth. I sucked at it because I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting here in the interrogation room, like questioning this guy about like this house that burned down, and he's literally doing like the shifty dog eyes, and like,
I didn't burn nothing down.
Exactly. And I'm like, you press the button to like press the witness or like say he's lying. And he's like, no, I'm telling you, man, leave me alone. And like the other detective comes in. It's like, what's wrong with you? He's a war vet. And I'm like, what the fuck? He was doing the shifty eyes. So, and it's not one of those games where like, every decision, affects the outcome. Like you can't like fuck this up and move on. Like, if you fuck up these interrogations, you get like a game over and you have to start over for that segment. It's just like, oh, piss. Like this, come on. Like, gotta drive back across town and fucking like, pick this guy up again and go back and try and reread his face. I ain't got time for this shit. Yeah, so I guess, really, when you get down to it, it's a little bit of Grand Theft Auto, a little bit of Phoenix Wright, with some really nice face capture. Like, frankly, I think a Phoenix Wright game done with this level of detail would be pretty goddamn cool. They should maybe consider, Rockstar and Capcom crossing those over, or like making some DLC or something.
Yeah, but could you imagine like using that level of facial rendering technology to get all the individual muscles put on like an anime art style face. Like it would be like going to a cosplay convention and seeing those people who dress up with the anime masks to make them look exactly like the character. I mean, that's like Uncanny Valley written all over it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that might be the problem. Like, I played a couple of Phoenix Wright games, and so I was expecting that level of like facial expressions. Like, well, he's clearly lying. Like, he's got the big sweat mark on his head, and he's got those anxious lines. Like, where are those?
Like,
LA Noir.
he just looked over to the wall, but like giant beads of sweat aren't popping out of his forehead.
His jaw literally hit the table. Like, I think he's shocked by something.
He opened a magazine and blood started coming out of his nose.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool. And I like the vibe of it. I like that it's, it can be a little easy going if you want to. It's, I mean, how many games you got set in the 1940s? Like, I'll wait. Go ahead, name another.
There's like Mafia 1.
1941.
Thank you, David.
1942. 1943, the Battle of Midway.
See, but okay, so yeah, that's the real question. How many games are set in the 40s and aren't World War II games? Like, really narrows down the list.
There was Destroy All Humans was in the 50s. Never mind.
That 1941 spinoff, 1941, like Draft Dodger. It was wild.
It's a stealth action game.
Yeah.
That is a stealth game I would play the fuck out of.
Try not to build up your coward meter.
The goal is to make it to Canada.
But yeah, you could just like drive around like a 40s LA, and that was pretty cool. There's not a whole lot of like car action, but solving the cases was fun, and the story as usual is like Rockstar's level of deep, so not terribly deep, but a little bit dark. Like, it's about how you can't really like redeem yourself for your sins, and there's people want to say it's morally ambiguous. I'm like, the guy you're playing as was like a soldier in World War II, and I think he executed a bunch of people with like a flamethrower or something. Like, that's not morally ambiguous. He's a bad dude. Like, he should be repenting for his sins. This isn't as ambiguous as you think it is.
Well, wait, the people that he was shooting with a flamethrower, were they Nazis? Because if so, then it's okay.
See, and I don't think I think they were innocents, because that factors into the game later on. Like, there's been a series of arsons around LA, and I think the guy you're playing as, it's been 9 fucking years since I played this, but I think he was some kind of got swept up in the moment and like ordered somebody to kill a whole village or some shit. The kind of morally ambiguous type thing you'll see in a Rockstar game, where it's like, well, that's not really morally ambiguous. That was a village full of innocent people. Like, that's thank you, Rockstar, for exposing all the shades of gray and executing innocent people. But it's a cool game, and it's a lot of fun. And you get to drive around, you get to have a little bit of gunplay and fight some cops and fight some bad guys. And as a guy that likes movies like LA Confidential and Chinatown, it's like, yeah, this is as close as they're gonna get. I've been asking them for years to make that Chinatown game. Like, how come there's no Jack Nicholson DLC for LA Noir? Where is that? There's just not enough
there's not Jack Nicholson DLC for every game.
That's what
Smash
I'm saying.
Bros.
There's just not enough games that allow you to play as Jack Nicholson. Like, oh man. I mean, yes, like that really should be part of the next Fighters Pass. Jack for Smash. And he's got all his various costumes throughout the years. You get to play as like McMurphy. You get to play as what's his face from The Shining, the Joker. You got to play as fucking him in As Good as It Gets. His
final smashes. He turns into the guy from The Terror.
Yeah.
Bonus points if you get that reference.
And of course, like my favorite Jack Nicholson DLC would be the Something's Got to Give DLC. One where you just you just hold up in a house that's, you have sex with Diane Keaton. It's a great fucking game. Like,
that's the final smash.
Yeah. Final smash is you cut Diane Keaton's turtleneck off.
Yeah.
What a game. But yeah, LA Noire is cool, and I mostly picked it because I was like, man, I've used up a lot of the Grand Theft Auto options in this theme. It's like, all right, so for me, I got like Grand Theft Auto, I got like some old school beat 'em ups. I figured David might gravitate towards like some Final Fight or something. So I'm looking around, and I was like, oh, LA Noire. I'm pretty sure you fought some crooked cops in that. So yeah, fuck yeah, little throwback action with some good 40s style music. I thought it was a good pick. Good tunes. Yeah, see.
Now,
Um,
can we talk about the zip codes?
Game 3.
you're not supposed to do that to yourself,
Yeah,
but I
geez.
do appreciate it. Yeah, I got a lot of shit in the chat about that trivia, and fuck all y'all. It was good trivia, and it was loaded with hints.
How did we send letters without zip codes? That is mind-boggling.
You just wrote the town, John. I don't know.
You can't do that.
There weren't very many people here. But yeah, I also want to know why seatbelts weren't invented until 1949. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What were
Cars
people
didn't
doing?
go as fast, I don't think.
People were harder then.
That's true. Yeah, the cars were harder. The people were harder. Yeah, I gave my kids bootstraps for Christmas every year.
They used to design cars so that when they would get in a crash, the car would survive and not the people. And sometime around then, they said, "Wait a minute, like
People were expendable. What can we say?
it's like you can buy new cars." Like,
Yeah. Henry Ford needs that blood money. But I don't know. Anyway, yeah, LA Noire, pretty cool. It's available on Switch. I mean, like I was surprised to see that get re-released. Like I kind of had forgotten about it, and I was looking at it as I was getting ready for the show, and I'm like, oh, it's on sale. Oh, it's on sale half off, and it's still $25. They want $50 for a 9-year-old game. Nah, man, I can't read the faces well enough to justify that purchase again. Like, we're not doing this a second time. So,
But what if they added like Joy-Con support and like HD rumble, where as they look, they shiver and you can feel the Joy-Con vibrate? That would make
You
it
feel
so
their
much better.
face.
maybe it would help. And see, that's the other thing is you got later in that game, it's like everybody's making these exaggerated ass shifty motherfucker face motions, and I keep getting it wrong. It's like, okay, so wait, are they lying? Like, the whole crux of this game was designed to infuriate me. Like, you got to be able to read their faces, or they're really good liars. Like, well, fuck this then. That's a stupid mechanic. Anyway, that wasn't the point I wanted to end on, but it feels like it should be. Fuck LA Noire. No, it's a fine game. It was a good attempt, and Johnny, let's actually now not talk about zip codes and move on to game 3. See,
Game 3.
All right. This game was originally envisioned as an ambitious PC game, but it was under development for 3 years and suffered a troublesome development cycle, partially due to an overestimation of what the N64 could do.
David realized how short the song is.
Okay, and David has quit the show. I guess he did not choose to accept this mission.
Let me just go ahead and pick up my point.
John says mission dick possible.
That's 3 points, right?
Johnny says Mission Impossible 64, and David still absent.
Hit those
I think
cheeks. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he self-destructed in 5 seconds. So, David, do you have an answer?
Hey man,
Wait,
you really
what?
gotta read the room, dude. The song ended 3 minutes ago.
I will tell you that
it-
John and Johnny both got it right, so the hat trick is all up to you.
It was a very
Whether
short
you-
song.
I am setting you up for disappointment.
This hat trick, should you choose to accept it.
Ah!
Perfect. Dark, didn't we just use that game? Anyway, this is mission.
Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you, John.
I forgot to wait.
This is our fan request from the Discord. Keladon requested Mission Impossible for the Nintendo 64.
David, I think you made the mistake of getting up 1 second
You
into the
got up
song
before the obvious song.
because that did give it away.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
That's all right. It
sometimes
happens.
I like to go with some easy bait.
I like that, Jesse. It's been a
This-
long time since we've had one that easy.
Yeah.
Once again, I, as someone who has a kidney condition and needs to use the bathroom, is being unfairly discriminated against during the show.
Hey, John pees in bottles during the show, so I don't-
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know.
You
No,
make it work,
that's-
baby.
That's
Get
not
a
an
fucking
example.
bucket.
That is not an example. Do not do that.
And I ain't even got a kidney condition. So, what's
He's just
your
a pro.
Yeah. Just handle that business, baby. Number one piss boy. Wow. So anyway,
Friends.
Oh, God, I'm so pissed because I swear it's like I'm not really sure what this is. I'm sure the third song won't give it away.
Oh, it fucking
It gave it away hard.
yeah, hold on,
Tom-
Johnny. Can you play like 3 seconds of that last
Yeah.
song for David?
God damn it!
You left before the flute. You left before the flute finished. If you just stuck around to the end of that flute at the beginning, you would have gotten it.
Oh man.
You're just 1 second too quick.
I could have gotten up and used the bathroom and been like, "Oh, I obviously know what this is."
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Oh
Yeah.
man. Wow. So anyway, so this is not GoldenEye
No. No.
at all.
Nor is it Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
No, it's certainly not that. So how'd it go, man? How'd Mission Impossible 64 turn out?
You know, I had a lot of fun with it when I played it. This was one of the games I can definitely remember following in Nintendo Power, reading about it, and being like, this game sounds pretty cool. It did get compared to GoldenEye a lot. But,
No way.
You know, yeah. But like GoldenEye was more of a, here's a level, go shoot everybody, and sometimes you have to escort somebody, but most of the time shoot everybody. This game, you had to like find like disguises and like dress up as like different people, and there's like missions where you take a position as a sniper, and like one of the other operatives for IMF, I think is what they're called.
That's them, the
is doing-
Impossible Mission Force.
Yeah. While they go do on a mission,
Penis.
and so like you're like sniping like cars and people that are trying to fuck with Ethan Hawke or whatever, and
Ethan
Hunt.
Hunt.
Not Ethan Hawke. That's another guy.
Totally different game than Ethan Hawke Simulator.
Yeah, but
Before Sunset, the game. What a fucking game.
there's a lot of like cool gadgets, and I don't know. It was a pretty neat game for the time. Like, I can only imagine if this was going to be an ambitious PC game, it was probably going to be like something like Deus Ex, but Mission Impossible. What I want to know is, whenever he's given a mission, it says whether you choose to accept it. Have they ever been like, nah?
Nah.
And they're like, this mission sounds too fucked up. We're not doing it.
I mean, I think that maybe there's a few times in like the movies where like he's completed the big mission and then they like give him one more pair of sunglasses, and you know, maybe he goes like, nah, and he like goes off with his wife. But like, yeah, it would really, you know, kind of neuter the whole movie if the movie starts off and he rejects the initial mission. Like, no, I don't want that one. That virus sounds fucked up. All right, well, what about this mission? Should you choose to accept it? Like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds much better.
I would actually love to see, like, if it was Mission Impossible 6 or whatever it was, like whatever they're up to now, where it's like, your mission, should you choose to accept it? A terrorist cell's like, no, I choose not to accept this. And then the rest of the movie is just like a Tom Cruise romantic comedy.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, because
Okay.
I mean, these movies could be anything, and Tom Cruise is so charming, and Ethan Hunt is the most well fleshed out character ever. You could easily make these movies where he finally rejects a mission. Yes,
But he's already got all the intel and stuff, so it's almost like a weird thing where it's like, well, now you know all our secrets about this mission, so now we're gonna send some people after you.
David, you had me at rejecting the mission. You lost me at Tom Cruise rom-com. That I'm not interested in seeing.
It's just cocktails
like
but with lasers.
I was going to say, it's like that's the whole plot of the movie is he's trying to woo this woman and he keeps promising to meet her at these fancy restaurants, but he gets distracted because all these assassins are trying to take him out because he knows too much about this mission.
what it needs to be is you've got mail, but instead of exchanging emails, they're exchanging impossible missions. So
John, you had me at you got mail.
she keeps trying to like figure out who he is and give him these missions, and he just keeps on being like, "Nah, it's all right." And then they boot up AOL Instant Messenger. They chit chat a little bit. He buys out her bookstore. It's a good fucking movie. I think it's a great idea.
But her emails keep disappearing after 5 seconds. It's just very.
But her email.
Fuck it. Can we just recast the next Mission Impossible with Tom Hanks?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I want to recast the next You've Got Mail, but with Tom Cruise. That sounds awful.
So it'd be Tom Cruise as Tom Hanks. It would be Ving Rhames as Dave Chappelle. It would be Oh no, there's no female characters in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
I was trying to,
you?
You threw me off because I did not remember Dave Chappelle being in You've Got Mail.
Dave Chappelle is Tom Hanks' inexplicable black friend, and You've Got Mail.
I'm just saying, it's like, could you picture Tom Hanks in a romantic, or excuse me, can you picture Tom Cruise in a romantic comedy at the dramatic finish where you have to see him running down the street towards the woman he loves?
Okay, now yes, that I can see. That man loves to run. But there's a big difference between a romantic run and a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible run. Like, if he's running towards like the romantic, finish of the movie and he breaks his fucking ankle, then a little bit too much of that Mission Impossible bled into the romantic comedy.
Well,
but
I mean, it's basically the same thing as a Mission Impossible run, except instead of a gun, he's holding flowers.
Exactly.
What if instead of chasing her on foot, he chased her in a fighter jet?
See, I was gonna say, what if just all rom-coms had elaborate, awesome stunts like Mission Impossible movies? Like, he's chasing her, she's leaving in the airport, and he fucking chases her down and has to climb inside the plane as it's taking off, and they do it with practical stunts. That'd be fucking great. Like, she doesn't want his advances, so she kicks him out of a helicopter, and he falls like 40 feet and hits like a cargo net. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of good ideas here.
He has to propose to her while she's on a date with another man, and the only way to do it is to scale the Space Needle to the top where the restaurant that they're having dinner is at.
Yeah, and Simon Pegg's there. It's crazy. And I also figured out the female lead. The only way to properly recast You've Got Mail with the current Mission Impossible cast. So fucking Tom Cruise takes over the Tom Hanks role. The Meg Ryan role, of course, goes to Henry Cavill. And it's just a phenomenal
Peg.
Like,
now, the most important question, does he keep the mustache or do they digitally remove the mustache?
Picture Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill about to kiss, and Henry Cavill cocks his fists like in Mission Impossible 6, like, chow, and then they just fucking come in for a big kiss at the finale. Oh, man.
It's just Henry Cavill, but they have digitally added Meg Ryan's haircut.
You've got Mission Impossible.
Perfect for Switch.
Oh, man. I unironically love You've Got Mail and the entire Mission Impossible series. So, like, that is a movie made for me, man. The next
Hollywood.
Mission Impossible is written by Nora Ephron. Like, just make it happen. Like,
How many movies do you think you could swap Hanks and Cruise? Like Last Samurai with Tom Hanks.
Tom Cruise and Big.
Yeah,
it doesn't work. He's a small man.
I was gonna say they'd have to give him stilts.
he'd probably be really good in Castaway, honestly.
Yeah, and Bridge of Spies, it could work. Could I see Tom Cruise playing Sully? No.
I don't know. Can Tom Cruise do like a cowboy accent? Would he work in Toy Story?
Oh man,
that would be interesting. What about Tom Hanks in Rock of Ages?
I'd watch that.
Can you imagine?
I would pay full ticket price to see Tom Hanks in a pair of leather pants.
I was going to say Tom Hanks in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to see Tom Cruise play Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
I want to see Tom Cruise play Walt Disney
or Forrest Gump.
Oh no, nobody plays Forrest Gump anymore. That movie is over. As long as we're doing reckonings with the past and fucking cops and Confederacy and stuff, can we just cancel Forrest Gump once and for all? We're done with that, right?
God, Tom Hanks is such a better actor.
Shut up, John. Nobody's asking that.
Where's your hot take button?
Yeah, jeez.
Oh fuck.
You've lost it, man. Well, anyway, yeah. So, Mission Impossible 64.
Mission Impossible.
I haven't seen the first 63.
We need a dad. Right, I was gonna say we already have a dad joke button. What was I just thinking? But yeah, man. I love the Mission Impossible movies. So, I'd love to see a new Mission Impossible game. That's the series that still needs Mission Impossible being a continuing movie series justifies the continued existence of movie tie-in games. They need to still make movie tie-in games because, yes, the last several Mission Impossible movies have been fucking awesome, and they all need a tie-in game. It'd be great. And I'm not talking about Die Hard trilogy style. I don't want Mission Impossible 4, 5, 6 on the PlayStation 1. That would suck ass. They each need their own dedicated game. They're good fucking movies, action-packed, white-knuckle thrill rides. I don't say that ironically. Frankly, I think we might need to do a commentary series for the new Mission Impossible, or for all Mission Impossibles.
I was just about to say, Muddle Madness in the chat is talking about this is why we need more movie commentaries. Should we add Mission Impossible to the docket?
Fuck yeah! Are you kidding? That's what's the first thing on the docket? I kind of forgot after last week.
I thought we were each going to pick a movie and let the Tunas vote.
Okay, cool. So first chance I get, my poll's going to be 4 Mission Impossible movies. It's I'm stacking the deck.
I feel like it was going to be the Flintstones, the Mission Impossible movies.
Okay, now before we move on. How many movies can you swap Tom Cruise and John Goodman?
Oh, man.
Game 4.
Okay.
So, this game was released in May of 2017, 23 years later after the initial version of this game, and it was announced in January of 2017 to mark the beginning of the series' 30th anniversary. All right, who's got those answers, guesses, penis drawings? I want to give you a point for I want to give you a point for creativity. So Jesse has a drawing of a penis. Johnny says Shadow the Cop Hog. And John Harrington is the correct answer of Ultra Street Fighter 2. Technically, Ultra Street Fighter 2, The Final Challengers.
Yeah, they say that, but this is Capcom, so I ain't buying it. There might be a couple more challengers.
I wanted to use that trivia so bad, but there was no way that I could word it. This is the first game in the series to feature a character developed by another company.
Please elaborate.
Because this is the sadly no. Because this game
Wait a minute, Skullomania came back.
Because this is the Street Fighter 2 version that introduced Evil Ryu and Violent Ken. Violent Ken first appearing in SVC Chaos, developed by SNK.
Oh, right.
It's such a... I want to say dorky way to phrase that, but it's... I don't know, there's something about Evil Ryu. He's Ryu, but he's overtaken by the evil spirits. What do we do to make an edgier version of Ken? It's he's Violent Ken. Is Street Fighter not inherently violent? Yeah, but he's more violent is what I'm trying to tell you now.
Look, it's related to Violent J.
It's more of a menacing grin.
It's weird too because Violent Ken is overcome by the psycho power from M. Bison, so they could have called him Psycho Ken, but they didn't. They just went with Violent Ken.
Or Psyken. I mean, just shorten the whole thing. It would have been a good move. Really, really missed out on something here, but it sounds pretty fucking great, man. But this Violent Ken. Honestly,
is he related to Violent J?
I
makeup.
Is that what it is? Is Violent Ken have Juggalo makeup on?
I thought it was pronounced Huggalo. Is it Juggalo?
What? Okay, so that's gonna be the real Ultra Street Fighter 2. Eventually, they're gonna make the real final Street Fighter 2 featuring Ryu 2 Dope and. Okay, so no, Ryu. We already got evil Ryu and violent Ken, so it needs to be like Guile 2 Dope and violent Chun-Li. Like,
Um, it's funny that you say that because one of the characters allegedly that was going to get added to Street Fighter 2 that they never brought back was actually a karate clown.
Ugh,
oh,
God.
So
really?
It just gets
Dodge
better.
that bullet.
Fuck.
It gets better and better.
Street Fighter 2 with Dr. Roxo. Who asked for this? I can't even picture that. Sounds terrible. So, David, did you play Ultra Street Fighter 2?
I did. So just to mention how this ties into
Street Fighter clown.
all right, we have lost John. John has gone bye-bye. So to explain to tie into the theme, so obviously there's a lot of characters in Street Fighter 2, but one of the most notable, Chun-Li, the strongest woman in the world, is also a member of Interpol. She is officially a police officer, and you beat the shit out of her.
That's true, man. Very
So,
true.
yeah, this was one of those like early Switch games. It was like, oh fuck yeah, Street Fighter on the Switch, hell yeah! And then a year or two later, they released the Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection. It's like, oh, why did I buy this game?
So you did buy this game?
Yes,
They
but
got
it
you
did
on launch hype.
they did, but it did have some cool stuff. It had a first person mode that used the Joy-Cons. That was not cool. It was kind of janky and didn't work. But one thing it did have was it had a sprite like editor. So you could create custom color variations that you could then take online when you played the game. And that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, sorry, I already agreed with you. I thought somebody else would jump in.
I was gonna say it got real quiet real fast.
Yeah.
But essentially, I mean, it's Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Like it does have various different modes. You can do the like classic sprite graphics. They have the HD Udon comics graphics. It's been rebalanced. It added Evil Ryu. It added Violent Ken. But yeah, it's basically Street Fighter 2 Turbo. And the game came out in '94. This came out in 2017. And goddamn, if it doesn't still hold up.
Yeah, I mean, some games truly are timeless. And Street Fighter 2 really might be one of those games. It's, I mean, yeah, like I never, thankfully I didn't rebuy Street Fighter 2 all that many times, but I bought it more than once. It's one of those things like, you throw a couple extra characters or you do, what was it on PlayStation 3, the Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD remix? Like, oh, so you're telling me you got the exact same game, but it looks even nicer? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll plop down some money on that. Like, Capcom, man, they figured out, like, yeah, they're pretty goddamn good at putting those games back out there and being like, hey, you should buy this again. I'm like, no. Fool me once, shame on me. But wait a minute, you tell me you got Violent Ken. Okay, now hold on. Fool me 3 or 4 times. Shame on you, sir. Yeah. I think they need to start doing that for the Mega Man collections, quite frankly. Like, they need to put out, like, Violent Mega Man X.
I was going to say add Violent Ken.
Mega Man Zero collection, and you can unlock Violent Ken. It's a really good idea.
Well, that's one of the things that I was still upset about with the cancellation of Mega Man Ultimate, because that's pretty much what it was. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to be able to build your own Mega Man game and also unlock Ryu and Arthur. It's like, fuck yeah, I want to play those characters in a Mega Man game. Oh, do you? We're going to cancel it because we're Capcom. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fortunately, in my adulthood, I've learned not to take it too personally, David. It's just how it goes.
No, I take it personally.
That's the thing. I've learned to not take it personally. You should still be taking it personally. They are really going hard on you.
That game was canceled specifically to piss off me and no one else.
Yeah. Who wants this? David. We should cancel it though. But it would upset David. Still cancel it.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Capcom just came out. It's like, we're going to.
Too long just to appease David.
Capcom came out. It's like, we're going to cancel this game. Whatever. We don't need that money. Y'all are still going to buy Street Fighter V and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, aren't you? Wait, where are you going? No.
Yeah. Peons, you'll take what we give you. Wait, hold on. Maybe we can give you a little bit more so you'll take. Oh, shit. Quick. Crank out like 30 DLC fighters for Street Fighter V. We're in deep shit here. No, cancel Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That's not coming back. Anyway, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite would have succeeded if they had violent versions of all the characters. It should have been Marvel vs. Capcom Violent. It's MVCV.
I was going to say, it should have just been MVC, but the V stood for violent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Marvel Violent Capcom. You got your Marvel characters. You got your Violent Capcom characters. Ultron merges with Violent Sigma. It's a great mesh, man. Like that would have been a hell of a game. People would have bought more of it than what they ended up with. This game that nobody even remembers.
I'm not gonna lie. I would play the fuck out of any game that featured Violent Hagar.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh man. So like, what is it that sets Violent Hagar apart from normal Hagar? Like
he still bashes you with a pipe, but it's a flaming pipe.
He pile drives two things at once.
He shaves his mustache.
Oh, whoa.
That's
too far.
Yeah. Oh no. We got to give David one last chance to course correct. So yes, what's the ultimate Violent Hagar move?
The Violent Pile Driver.
I mean, I like a good violent driver as much as the next person, but clearly it wasn't enough to save Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Anyway, David, great pick. I kind of forgot about the Street Fighter series. I forgot that Interpol is a police organization. Indeed, the
name Interpol means International Police.
Now hold on, because what are you saying? You can shorten phrases and combine them into whole. This is wild.
Well, what I'm saying is, Johnny, get ready. I was very close to choosing a Mortal Kombat game where you could fuck up Stryker, but I think Street Fighter is significantly better than Mortal Kombat. Hot take.
And I was getting ready to pick a Tekken game in which you could fuck up Lei Wulong, but I realized we'd used all the Tekken games that I care to talk about, and Street Fighter is also better than Mortal Kombat.
Hot take.
Except in story. Mortal Kombat really has a much better story mode than Street Fighter does.
And RoboCop.
And
I was going to say, it's like
Mortal Kombat does now have RoboCop. So, David, you really might have fucked up by not picking Mortal Kombat 11.
I was going to say, it's like Mortal Kombat does have the slight edge in story and guest characters, because Street Fighter doesn't really have guest characters, but they should get in on that. Jason Voorhees in a Street Fighter game. I'd play the hell out of it.
The people debating nowadays, like Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, it's like, yeah, Mortal Kombat, you can literally do RoboCop versus the Terminator. What do you have in Street Fighter? We got Violent Ken.
We used to have a fucking karate clown.
Yeah, they cut the karate clown. Sorry, guys. So yeah, Mortal Kombat could take a lessons from Street Fighter and make violent versions of each of their characters.
I mean, Mortal Kombat characters like rip out spines. I don't know how you get more violent than that.
That's what I'm saying, man. Just total overkill. Just like gooifying bodies and just, the nastiest shit you've ever seen. That's going to be in Mortal Kombat 12. That's right. Violent RoboCop in Mortal Kombat 12. Johnny,
I
you
feel
were
like
supposed to have moved on ages ago.
I think a violent Mortal Kombat fatality would be like you human centipede the other guy. That's how you get.
Or no,
Friendship.
Mortal Kombat's already violent, so the next step is like cruel, and it's just real fucked up.
Game 5.
All right. This game is one of the few games based on this IP that was of a different genre than than typically made in this series. Also, the plot is roughly based on a storyline from a 1999 television show, sort of. Oh hell yeah!
Somebody check me here. Am I? I'll make sure I'm not bleeding out of the ears. Good Lord.
You're gonna ruin my guess.
All right, how you guys doing? Okay, Johnny's got a
Great.
dick. And David says beep boop, and John with the correct answer: WWF betrayal. That's right.
And that's the bottom line.
This is WWF Betrayal on the Game Boy Color. It is a side-scrolling beat 'em up in which you get to pick between Triple H, The Rock, Undertaker, and Stone Cold to go from left to right and punch various people like referees. There are two types of referees. There's a skinny one and a fat one. The fat one looks kind of like Ron Jeremy. There are police officers. There are like 3 different kinds of police officers.
You
One
gonna
has
fight
a-
the big boss man?
No, they're not the big boss man. Unfortunately, I wish they were, because he would be a lot better. Because because fucking
Am
big boss
am
man.
I getting that right? Is Big Boss Man's gimmick that he's a cop?
Yeah, he was a basically a bad cop. He's done some fucked up shit. He fed someone's dog
boss.
to them, which is pretty fucked up. The dog's name was Pepper, and he told the dude, he's like, "Oh, I made you some pepper steak," and he's like, "Oh, this is really good," and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is your dog. I killed it, and you're eating it now," and that's pretty fucked up.
Ooh.
Yes,
Also,
yes, it is. Jesus
also-
Christ.
yeah, this is wrestling.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Jesse. Like, I know there's a debate about whether wrestling is real or fake, but did that happen? Like, did someone cook a dog?
I mean, it's the story, dude. And then they had one of the worst matches ever, which is the Kennel from Hell match, fucking Vince Russo, and that was stupid. It was a cage, and then another cage. So the cage was in the ring, so they were in
Double
there,
cage.
and then in between the ring cage and the other cage, they had a bunch of dogs. And a lot of them were like fucking. There's like a golden retriever and like
No.
like fucking dogs that aren't going to do shit for one, and two, they
So
never
sheltered.
actually interact with the dogs. It is one of the worst things ever.
I mean, honestly, it's good they never interacted with the dogs. That sounds like a fucking
Yeah.
nightmare of
Yeah, that's no.
animal abuse. I
Fucking-
don't even think about that.
Fuck Vince
Okay,
Russo. Anyway,
Jesse,
go ahead,
I'm
David.
glad to hear that they don't interact with the dogs and all that, but I really feel like we're glossing over. Did he cook the dog?
I'm pretty sure he did not. Okay, so you
Okay,
can be
I
safe.
feel significantly better.
Although he did drag Big Show's grandfather's casket at his funeral behind a car, so that was pretty fucked up too. Like Big
Damn.
Boss Man was fucked up. He
It
was,
sounds like it, man.
he was a
Sounds
top heel.
a lot of the problems that we have with current policing are kind of distilled down into the Big Boss Man.
I mean, I would
protest. Eat your own dog. Like,
Oh, it was his father. I thought it was his grandfather. Fuck. Okay, it was his father's casket. I mean, Big Show is pretty upset. You can imagine why. So,
this problem.
so again, so in this game though, Big Boss Man isn't in it, but the police officers have like tasers and stuff, which is fucked up. And so what happens is it starts off. I picked Stone Cold, of course.
Actually, wait, hold on, Jesse. I want, before you talk about this even further and continue to give people time to look it up. David, I want to know if you can guess who made WWF Betrayal for the Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah.
My gut says THQ.
See, they made a lot of WWF games. However, that's incorrect. They published this one, but they did not develop it. What if I told you it was directed by Matt Bozon?
I was going to say, in that case, it's got to be a WayForward game, because I know WayForward does a shit ton of licensed games, especially on the GB Game Boy Color.
Yes, David, that's exactly right. So, my main point is this game's about Stephanie McMahon being kidnapped and these wrestlers trying to beat up things and get to Stephanie McMahon. How about an unlockable Shantae for WWF Betrayal?
That'd be cool.
How about a
Those
female
boys-
wrestler that uses Shantae belly dancing as a gimmick?
I mean,
Let's
it's not a bad
see.
idea. I think we could run that up the pole to AEW. They seem to be struggling with their women's division. They really need some kind of spark.
That's not too bad. It's gotten better.
I mean, the wrestling itself is fine. I just feel like they have like 5 wrestlers they're using. It's just not quite getting there. But anyway, yeah. So this is a way forward game. Which seeing that, I was like, now wait, David didn't pick this. Hold on. How much of WWF betrayal carried over into like Mighty Switch Force?
All of it.
Yeah.
Actually, I would love if, like, the next Mighty Switch Force game or whatever, you could perform wrestling moves. Like,
Fuck yeah,
if
dude.
Patty Wagon could do a pile driver, I am all for it.
Yeah, or like she just has like an ally in each level, and each level it's either Triple H, Stone Cold, The Undertaker, or The Rock. Like that'd be pretty good, man. So anyway,
That's just-
Jesse.
So I actually finished this game on the Twitch stream Monday. So you can check that out if you want. I picked Stone Cold, of course.
Hell yeah.
And you start off fighting Triple H, and then you get hit by a trash can, and The Rock is there, and he runs off, and you lose the match because distraction went off. So then
I'm sorry to keep derailing it, but I like how you say you get hit by a trash can like it's a car. Like a trash can flew through the arena and hits you. Like, oh wait, no. Someone hits you with the trash can.
Well, he threw it into the ring and it hits you, and then Triple H pedigrees you, all on the glorious Game Boy Color, by the way.
Of course.
And
that's the beauty of all this. All this is being described on the Game Boy Color.
and I gotta say, the sprites are very entertaining. They walk in such a strut. It's very much like the treasure hunter dude from NES.
Treasure Master?
way.
Treasure
Do we
Master,
need-
yeah.
Okay, so see, yeah, Treasure Master is maybe my favorite walking animation of all of the characters that we've like ever featured on the show. So, are you telling me I need to look up all these WWF betrayal guys?
Yeah, you should.
Okay,
They're-
shit. I'm like 5 beers in, but I might have to stay up late tonight and make a lot of gifts. That sounds. Oh, that sounds really good.
It's pretty good. And so you show up in the locker room, and Vince is like, "They kidnapped my daughter Stephanie. You have to save her." And Austin's like, "Why do I need to do that? You piece of trash."
Yeah.
And he's
Why
like,
would anybody listen to Vince?
he's like, "Well, if you save her, I'll give you a title shot." So he's like, "Okay, cool." So
Fair enough.
then you go and you find The Rock and Undertaker putting her in the limo, and Undertaker drives off, and so then you have to fight The Rock. Unfortunately, the weird thing about this game is you don't do a stunner, which is
What?
stupid. So like you have like a punch and a kick, and you have like this like 5 little boxes, and if you make like 5 hits without taking any damage, then you do like a special move. And for like regular old enemies, like the referees and police officers, you just DDT them into the ground, which is still pretty badass. For like against like The Rock and Triple H and Undertaker, you do the ground and pound thing where you like just tackle them and just punch them in the face a bunch, which Stone Cold does that, so it's not a big deal. But you don't get to do the stunner, which that's definitely a negative. However,
it seems complicated to animate that with sprites. And
Probably.
I only say that as a very lazy man. Like, you want to make a WWF beat 'em up, and you're going to make Stone Cold a playable character, you make a stunner set of sprites for every single fucking character. Are you kidding me? Like, what's the matter with you?
But ultimately, I feel like this is something that should happen more often, like a beat 'em up with wrestlers. Like, just throw a bunch of wrestlers that you can pick from, walk left to right, and fucking doing wrestling moves to people. Like, that's what I want. Have an AEW game. And
I mean, that's a lot of what I love about Final Fight. Like, Hagar's a fucking wrestler.
Yeah.
An ex-pro wrestler turned mayor. I love it.
Just change him to Jake Hager. Have Cody be Cody Rhodes.
That adds up.
throw in like Hikaru Shida, or someone else. Maybe you could have the alien lady, Statlander.
I'm into it.
That's right, David. There's a woman. She's from the Andromeda galaxy, and she wrestles. So
In AEW, there's a Martian woman.
yeah, and she boops people on the nose because that's what aliens do. And
How aliens say hello? They give you a little boop.
because wrestling.
Really got to start
it.
David. We're going for it.
Yeah,
We're
I
going
mean, you've got people feeding dogs to people. You've got Martians wrestling. You've got in Australia, there's a wrestler that's two dudes in a trench coat, and they're like, they're like really short. I think, and their name is like Jason Tallman or something, and like come on.
Are you serious?
Yes. I forget their exact name, but it is legit.
Why?
Two dudes in a fucking trench coat. And
Why do I not watch wrestling? This is amazing.
I don't know.
We've been asking you guys for a while.
I mean, the fact that there is a female Martian wrestler from the Andromeda galaxy who boops people on the nose, that is the most convincing argument I've heard for me to watch wrestling since the Michael Jackson wrestler.
There's also like Joey Ryan. He flips people with his dick. That's pretty great. So yeah.
I mean, I can do that.
You got to focus on the Andromeda Galaxy stuff, Jesse. You got to leave the dick flip out of it. That undoes all the goodwill. David's not ready for sleaze wrestling. Yeah. He needs, Johnny might be into the sleaze.
Oh yeah.
David needs the aliens. Johnny needs the dick flips.
I'm all in on the sleaze.
Yeah.
We got to pull that for a calculating computer.
I mean, I just you gotta know your audience. Like David, I'm telling you, there's hot women who claim to be aliens. Johnny, I'm telling you, there's a guy with a hairy chest, and if you grab his dick, he flips you with it. Like,
he also keeps a lollipop in his trunks while he wrestles, and he'll pull it out and stick it in your mouth, and then kick you in the face while you have his sweaty lollipop in your mouth.
And David, there's a guy from Japan who practices Hakan's style of wrestling from Street Fighter 4.
Michael Nakazawa!
When somebody gets a grip on him, he pulls baby oil out of his trunks, douses himself with it, and it gives him like elusive powers. It's great.
Okay, I'm into it.
Wow.
Like the thing about wrestling is there's something literally for everyone. When it comes to wrestling,
you got to find a way, man.
But yeah,
all that to say, we need to get Kenny Omega on the show. Like, I'm telling you, David. Let me tell you about this man, Kenny Omega. He's like one of the best wrestlers of all time, and his finishing moves. He's got the V trigger and the one-winged angel.
I was gonna say, isn't he the one who came out to Megalovania?
Yes. As Sam.
Sam's Undertale.
He's also come out as Akuma before.
Yeah, they did a thing like in connection with C2E2, I think, where there was like a comic event and like nerd event / wrestling thing, and he and the Young Bucks were dressed as Ken, Ryu, and Akuma, respectively. And
I don't know if it was Violent Ken, but
he was not. It was not Violent Ken, but Kenny was Akuma, and at one point, one of the spots involved them throwing a Hadouken into the other team.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, man, they're doing everything they can to get David on board. Much like when Capcom canceled Mega Man Legends, Kenny Omega's like, no, I got to get this guy David on board. Like, what does it take? I'm a very, very in shape man, and I'm doing every nerdy thing I can do, and he doesn't seem to be watching wrestling yet. I don't understand it. What's it take, David? Does Kenny have to come out as Shantae to get you on board? Like
he has dressed up like Princess Jasmine. So
no way.
Yes, in New Japan, him and members of the Bullet Club all dressed up as people from Aladdin, and he dressed as Princess Jasmine. So
you're just making this up. You're just saying what we all want to hear.
No, I'm fucking serious. Wrestling is fucking bonkers. It's
the best.
Fucking anime for rednecks. It's fucking live action comic books. It's fucking fighting games. It's everything you ever want.
So I'm taking a look. I was like, "There's no way this is real." It is real. Not only can I find pictures of Kenny Omega dressed as Jasmine, but apparently somebody ripped his top off and he's covering himself with a hand bra.
Well, yeah, it's very inappropriate, David.
Yeah, man.
Japan is a very conservative country.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not to make light of it, but yeah, Japan has serious policies in terms of like how they censor violence and nudity, especially like in the context of sexual violence. So if somebody was to rip Kenny Omega's top off while he's dressed as Jasmine, they've got to censor that. That's that's really not cool over there. Anyway, Jesse, WWF Betrayal for Game Boy Color. What a game. Yes, they need to make more beat 'em up games in which characters use wrestling moves. They need to make more games featuring wrestlers. I mean, AEW's got to have a game coming out soon. Like, I've been watching a little bit of Botchamania. Somebody made Streets of AEW in response to like the Stadium Stampede. Like, let's get some wrestling beat 'em ups out there. That sounds like a good idea.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, that's all I want is more beat 'em ups with wrestlers.
Yeah, frankly, I'm into it. Yeah, I'm now clicking on this picture of Kenny Omega. Frankly, I'm into it. Yeah. Good God. What a fucking guy.
Anything to piss Jim Cornette off.
I think that's really what it is, man. Fuck that motherfucker.
Yeah. Fuck Jim Cornette.
As far as I'm concerned, Jim Cornette's a fucking cop.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Jesse, anything else before we send this one over to the calculated computer?
I think it's time to go home.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Boops.
Oh my God!
Scoring complete.
Oh shit! What the hell?
This game's winner is John Harrington.
Hell yeah. I think that was made clear by the mere usage of that calculating computer. Well done, Johnny. Thank you so much for that. What a fucking night. What a show. Thank you so much, everybody. What a glorious win this is for me. I'm honored and flattered by whatever gaming in the background took place to give me this win. Oh wait, no, I actually had the most points. Never mind. It's a totally legitimate win for me, and I couldn't be more excited. And I've got a pretty good theme in mind. I feel like we've been a little bit too reliant on the modern stuff lately, and quite frankly, my game this week got me feeling a little bit old fashioned. So in keeping with the spirit of LA Noir, I'm of course talking about games that came out in the 1940s. No, wait. I think we need to go back and it's time to have another chiptune show. But I'm wondering how specific I should get with it, guys. Should I do 80s? Should I do 90s? Should I do 8-bit? Should I do 16-bit? Should I do the Nintendo 64 and its awesome 32-bit chiptunes? I want a little powwow on this theme.
I'm always fond of like a year.
A year.
I'm always fond of like a system, like an 8-bit or a 16-bit or.
How about we just say games released in the 1990s? It's we're going back in time 30 years. That gives us the no. Okay, we'll be more specific than that to keep the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, the illustrious Sega Saturn out of the conversation. Let's just say 16-bit systems, 16-bit games for next week's fantastic episode of Game That Tune. Everybody good with that?
Sounds great.
Is TurboGrafx 16-bit?
quiet you.
Does it have 16 in the name?
See, David, you joke about how obvious that is, and yet, I frequent some podcasts that have asinine discussions about whether or not these things mean what they are. I'm not going to promote that podcast, but yes, the Nintendo 64 is a 64-bit system, just like the TurboGrafx 16 is a 16-bit system. And yes, we're going to have 16-bit games on next week's episode of Game That Tune. We're taking it old school. Mid school. We're going to middle school is what we're doing. So yeah, fantastic show tonight, fellas. What a game. Thank you everybody so much for listening. Thanks to everybody watching along live with us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. Thanks to everybody chatting along in the chat box. We appreciate you guys hanging with us. Hit up our Discord server and join us. We love chatting with you guys. We love goofing off with you guys, having a great time during the show. And, anytime. We really just love hearing from the fans. Thanks to everybody listening. Podcast form or podcasts come out on Tuesdays, and you can find them anywhere you get your podcasts. So thank you all so much for listening and enjoying in podcast form. Thanks to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for our awesome exclusives. We've got Jesse's Covered Up series. We've got GTT Gyms. We've got the occasional mixtape, and sometimes we just, we throw some stuff out there. Pretty soon, I think we're going to be doing a Mission Impossible You've Got Mail commentary. I haven't decided yet. Maybe we'll do a little voting on that. See what the fans want. Pretty sure it's going to be a pretty even split. We got a pretty weird audience, and I think they're going to be. This is going to be the civil war that divides them. Does Game That Tune talk You've Got Mail or Mission Impossible?
Compromise. We watch both movies. Every 5 minutes, we switch back and forth between them.
Wow, John. That's next level. And we have to then react to it as though they are the same movie.
Can we not find a way to stream both of them at the same time so we commentate both movies?
See, now that's a good idea, too. We talk about both movies simultaneously, but never say which one we're talking about. So if you want to keep up with our commentaries, you need a lot of DVD players, motherfuckers. It's gonna be great. We're doing some next level shit there at patreon.com/GameThatTune. So check us out. Special thanks to the super fan tier producers: Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Chrono, Dominic Guy, Kellyanne, Taylor Wise, Sam L. You're all fantastic fellas, and we appreciate that support. Thank you to Jesse took the request this week. Jesse, who made our request this week?
It was Caledon in the Discord.
Thank you to Caledon for that fantastic request. He made his request in our Discord, but you can also hit us up, gamethattune@gmail.com. You can find us in the 24/7 video game music stream at twitch.tv/GTT radio. Or you can hit us up on Twitter at GameThatTune, or you can find us individually there on Twitter. I am there at JGangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
And so I'm taking it home with my bonus tunes, guys. It's been as I said earlier, I'm not giving Jesse a shit about the theme. It was a great theme. It got us thinking about games where you can fight the cops. It got us thinking a little deeper on games, much like people should maybe be thinking a little deeper on their music. Apparently this week, a lot of people were starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, Rage Against the Machine was a political band.
Wait,
yeah,
when?
People have been going in on Tom Morello on Instagram about the political leanings of his band, Rage Against the Machine.
I thought that song, I Won't Do What You Tell Me, was about, your parents. Is that not what that's about?
Tell me. Killing in the Name. It's definitely not about anything political. Rage Against the Machine, they've never been radical leftists.
So I shouldn't have punched my toaster oven?
Exactly. Yeah, you're Rage Against the wrong machine, David, is what I'm trying to tell you. So just to prove that I didn't fully flesh out the bonus tunes to tie in with the theme next week is 16-bit games, but this is the 8-bit remix of Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine. So let's rally around the family, pockets full of shells. Peace out, everybody. Treachery in Beatdown City is copyright 2020 New Challenger LLC. LA Noire is copyright 2011 Rockstar Games. Mission Impossible is copyright 1998 Infogrames and Ocean Software. Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers is copyright 2017 Capcom Company Limited. WWF Betrayal is copyright 2001 WayForward Technologies and THQ Incorporated.